welcome back to Stella Rosebella, where I talk about the latest Asian drama, music, and shows. So it's the end of the year, and I just want to wrap up the year with dramas that I liked a lot. I'm not gonna name a favorite because it's hard to say favorite, so I'm just gonna say that I liked a lot. Okay, so let's get started. So the first drama is Someday or One Day, 想见你. And this drama, first off, the script is original. It's not based off of a novel or whatever. It's written by the writers themselves. And then secondly, that's what I know of based on the interviews that I've watched. And secondly, it's because you sort of think that you know where the drama was gonna go, like how the story was gonna go, but then when you watch the upcoming episodes, you're like, wait, this is not what I thought it was gonna be like. And then another thing is that by the first episode, I was totally sold in wanting to find out what this whole thing was about. And another thing is that this drama, even though the main story seems like the focus is on the relationship, the love story between the two leads, but the writers, they also add little things that talks about issues that people deal with today. One of them is mental health. Another thing is there's a queer story included, and another one is bullying. So I feel like in a sense this drama did such a great job into weaving in these little stories into the big picture of some people are oh, this is what's gonna happen, but inside a little the writers dropped a little bit of things that they want to talk about society, which I thought was really awesome. And I guess because the way that the story was told and how it was written, it was such a refreshing thing to see, because I feel like in a lot of the dramas that I've seen, a lot of the times it's sort of you sort of know what's gonna happen in the story and it's oh, it's obvious, this is what's gonna happen. But this drama, totally nuh-uh. So that was one thing that I really, really liked about this drama. Another one is Joy of Life, 庆余年. This drama, it aired towards the end of 2019, and then it continued throughout 2020. And one of the things that I love about this drama, I heard online a lot of people talked about good things about this drama. I was like, yeah. And then I went to check it out. The story itself, I think one thing that drew me into the drama was the humor that they had. It was really funny. And so I was like, oh, I like it. But then the writing was so done well. I know it was based off of a IP, but I have to say that the writing, the script, was done so beautifully. Even though it really revolves around this idea of who's gonna be in charge of the 内裤. And so it also talks about a little bit about how all these officials and everyone else and these princes are into this sort of, and the king is sort of into this, talking about this mind game sort of idea, which is not new in historical dramas, because it's always about who's thinking really fast and the next steps, and you sort of observe the people around you and what you think that they're gonna do. So yeah, and it's in that setting, but also there's also the couple, but also family, and then this little brother who's who seems like he doesn't really care about much, but he cares about money and he calculates so well with everything. So I feel in that whole combination of everything, it's just beautifully done. And yeah, and I also think it's because one of the other reasons is because the male lead, he, in the beginning, you see that he writes the story and saying this baby, even though he's born in this historical time period, but then he has like he knows things from like the present day and he brings it back into like the historical time period, so he would like create all these things which was really funny, and then he would think of like, oh, like soap and all these things, and then his dad is like, your mom invented those things already, so you're pretty late. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I feel like it was really funny in that sense. So another drama that I liked in 2020, which I talked about in this channel, is Love and Redemption. I did talk about how I wasn't planning on watching this drama in the beginning when I first saw the trailer, because I felt like it was another one of those 仙侠剧. I was like, so it's like a love story. Like, it reminded me of 香蜜 and 三生三世. It's like, but then this one takes it into another whole, it's like in that same realm, but it's like another type of story. And I don't know, I have to say, I think it's because the actor's portrayal of the characters, like Xuanji, so beautifully done, and like you can feel like it was very like innocent, and like you can feel the innocence. It was like so pure and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was so beautifully like portrayed of that character. And then Sifeng, obviously, who isn't in love with this character? The actor's portrayal of the character and his eyes, oh my gosh, his emotions and everything that they bring out in the character really comes out, and you can, as an audience, I felt it like very strongly. And in terms of storyline, I don't think it's something like new, I guess, in terms of that, but like it's always like love story and then like betrayal and misunderstanding and stuff like that. But then like I think the actor's portrayal of the characters really made me like fall in love with the story even more. Even though I knew sort of like the storyline of where it was going. So that is that. So another one is 传说中的陈芊芊, Tiger and Rose. This drama was airing at a time where I was like, what is going on? But I have to say that the writing for the script is done so well. I know all the dramas I'm talking about, the script is written so well. In terms of like sort of like Zhao Lusi's character, Chen Qianqian, because she dropped into this world as a writer, and then she also, I guess like the writer of the drama is sort of saying like things like how they feel as a writer about this like drama world, and like sort of like what the leads roles are in a story and what the side characters roles are in a story. So I thought it was really done, like sort of like, you know, say like what the writers want to say, which I was like, oh shoot, like this is using a character to say what they want to say, which is like usually, you know, done in like more of like they won't really say it, but this is like from a character who's a writer that drops into the story. So that says like straight in the face, like this is how I feel. That's how I feel actually. And obviously the humor in this drama, because she's a writer, it's like really funny, and she also brings all these like present day, like modern ideas, contemporary ideas into the historical time period, which I've sort of noticed that I sort of tend to like these type of things, which I think is really funny, and like see how like the historical characters sort of like react to these like phrases that people use in the modern day, contemporary day. So I was like really happy that this was included in it. And in terms of the characters, I have to say, like, I don't know, it's sort of really funny how like she would try to make like scenes from like, oh, this is like what you see in dramas, and like, you know, like fireworks and someone like kissing and like all these other things. It's like, it's such a perfect, you know, scene, and it was like really funny how she sort of like talks about that, and it was really funny. And I was like, yeah, I mean, in dramas you always see these type of scenes, and I was like, oh gosh. So I feel like this is such a great drama. If you haven't checked it out, all the dramas that I have mentioned, you should go check it out. So yeah. So another drama is Crossfire. I know a lot of people probably watched the drama probably because of the leads. I, in fact, didn't want to watch the drama because of the leads. Not that I don't like them or anything, but I think it's because it's a gaming drama. It's like about gaming, professional gamers. And so I was like, oh, not this again. Which I have nothing against professional gamers, but I feel like it's always about like for me personally, when I watch like dramas that talk about like professional gamers, it's always like these people in front of a computer and then they're just like playing on the computer. I don't know, I'm just like not that into that type of genre, I guess. But I think like because I've seen reviews that people have done about the drama, I was like, okay, I'll go check it out and see what this drama is about. And it ended up being, I think the story was really done like really well. Because like you see Luhan's character like back in the day look down on people who, you know, they're like, oh, this is not a real job. Like, you want to be a gamer? That's not a real job. It wasn't like a thing. But then when you go to Wu Lei's character, like present day, it's like, it's a job. It's a profession. Like, people actually do that as a, like, you know, job. And so I was like, oh, this is interesting. So it talks about like back in the day, the struggle of like how professional gamers, it wasn't like a real thing, like people didn't think it was gonna be a real thing. And then also in that time period, they used a lot of props that brings me back into like my day. In terms of like the cell phone, the internet, and like how like, you know, you see that like computer and everything, and I was like, I'm not that old, just to let y'all know, but I did use like flip phones, and I did go through the period where like the computer and the internet, you hear that that, you know, that noise. And I think like I really love the friendship that Lu Han's character had with his like team. You know, when you're doing something like people don't really believe in you, but then people who are around you support this dream that you have and like to make it happen. So the last drama that I'm gonna talk about is My Roommate is a Detective, 民国奇谭. And this drama, I have to say, one thing that I loved about this drama, for some reason it brings me back to Sherlock Holmes. In terms of how like Hu Yitian's character, he does like deductions on like not only the case, like the people who are like involved in the case, but also like the Yu Monglong's like character and like the female lead. He, in the beginning, he was like, okay, based on what I observe on like what you wear and everything, and like the little details that I notice, like this is what I think, like who you are and like everything, like what you've done and stuff like that. And I was like, and I love the pace of the drama. Like it was so quick. I don't know, I just felt like it was like really quick. And also like the cases were interesting as well. And I have to say, I do love the bromance between the two leads. I'm not sure if this is based on an IP. Is it based on an IP? I don't know. Can someone tell me? I mean, I just Google it. So these are the dramas that I liked the most in 2020. Tell me in the comments below which ones were your favorite. Did I mention the ones that y'all liked? This is the last video of 2020. I will see you in 2021. Bye!